Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Exeter. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Pinkerton Astros and the Exeter Blue Hawks, two of the best teams in the state, vying for late season positioning in the Division I standings. The first of two meetings this week, part of a home and home, a game that has been circled on the calendar for quite a while, Roger, as these two teams look to ride the momentum that they've built up this season. Pinkerton, the two-time defending champion, only two blemishes on the roster. That was against their rival, the Bishop Girton Cardinals, back in late April. Same thing on the other side with Exeter. Their lone two losses, again at the hands of BG a couple of weeks ago. Nobody, frankly, outside of those Cardinals has been close, as Exeter and Pinkerton have continuously racked up double-digit wins more often than not. So something has to give tonight. All eyes here in the lacrosse world, at least in the state of New Hampshire, are here at Bill Ball Field.
Yeah, it's great to be out here today. Just a perfect day for lacrosse. Couldn't get any better than what we've got out there. I'm really excited to see the Pinkerton team from when we did that early season game with BG down at Pinkerton Stadium, because they have done just that. They have improved just by listening to some of the things I've heard out there, and of course their record. Having done what they've been doing, with those two losses to BG and Exeter's two losses to BG. But we've seen Exeter a couple times since the Pinkerton game against Bishop Girton. And I'm very, very curious to see how well they have refined their skills, how well they've refined their EMO, and how they'll actually match up to the Exeter Blue Hawks.
Yeah, the folks here in Exeter starting to arrive, a late arriving crowd. Again, still a somewhat restricted crowd due to the ongoing COVID-19 situation, but the weather could not be more perfect. We are in the lower 80s right now here on the seacoast, and, well, with about 5 or 6 minutes to go until this one kicks off, heat may be a factor, really, for the first time this season. Yeah, although I doubt it when you talk about these world-class student athletes.
Yeah, I've been down on that field in weather like this. It actually is hotter, and you know the story with field turf. This turf is a little worn more than the other fields that we've seen out there. So that black dust is kind of coming up through. Yeah. A little more because of its wear. But like you said, it was above 80 degrees driving out here. The sun is shining on the field, and I don't expect it to be a factor. And as a coach, I never wanted weather or used weather as an excuse, because the other team's up against the same thing you are. But just a beautiful day for lacrosse. Doesn't matter.
Steve Gaudreau down on the Pinkerton sideline. First-year head coach, took over for the legendary Brian O'Reilly, who now is, of course, the athletic director and still the football coach. But two of the more recognizable, I think, names at this point, of course, Coach Gaudreau, NCAA experience as the head coach at St. Anselm for 6 seasons, and Jerry Hawley has really put his stamp on the program over the last handful of years, and once again has a good, strong, experienced upper class to lean on, as you mentioned, and a freshman goaltender in net who has been a pleasant surprise as well.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty tremendous play out of freshmen this year.
That's a good point.
Brady Dumont for BG. Kuleza at Bedford, who isn't a starter, but he comes off the bench and he makes an impact. And the same thing here with the goaltenders. Not to jump ahead too much in the pregame here, but that is one of my keys to the game. I want to see what both these goaltenders can do. The last game we did with Exeter, Burnich. he had a tremendous first half. He came up with some big saves, and perhaps that might be a factor that tips their way today.
Ethan Burnich, originally from Long Island, has settled in as the varsity starter as a freshman, and we mentioned some of those other freshmen who have been impactful this season. How about Cole Frank? We were talking about him off air just a moment ago as one of the face-off guys, maybe the primary face-off guy at this point for Pinkerton, who has really learned on the fly and has learned well. And as usual, the X figures to be one of the big factors and perhaps one of the deciding factors between these two skilled teams.
Well, I opened the door on jumping the gun, and you entered right through it in the second phase.
I kicked it down.
You kicked it down. That was one of my other keys. Actually, I think this is probably the first game that we have seen two very good face-off specialists. Maybe the Derryfield-Portsmouth game was kind of similar to this with Carpentier, and I'm not familiar with the Portsmouth player, but where these two guys have an impact,
right.
and they're very strong. Spencer Clark just simply got worn down in that BG game that we did, but he still made an impact. He was able to win some of those face-offs, and we'll see what the freshman can do against him.
All right, we will step aside. When we come back, starting lineups and then game time. Exeter and Pinkerton both trying to avoid just their third loss of the season. Back in a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. Well, you can hear them from up here, Roger. Both Exeter and Pinkerton down on the sidelines getting fired up, getting ready to go, getting that emotional state where it needs to be. It's a big game. You can feel it. And the crowd continuing to build here as we arrive at the 5 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Roger, recap some of those keys here before the opening face-off between Exeter and their home whites and Pinkerton and their road reds.
Yeah, right off the bat, the face-offs, Spencer Clark against Cole Frank. Really, that battle there could determine the success of either team. The second point is going to be staying out of the box. Pinkerton, I remember in that BG game, they had a very slow-starting EMO, and they need to pick that up. And then, last but not least, the goaltenders. Excited to see them, and they need to come up big.
Yeah, we mentioned Ethan Burnich, the freshman for Exeter. And, of course, just a sophomore, Tyler LeBlanc, in his first year of varsity lacrosse in net for the visitors. All right. The officials just about set to give their blessing here, and we are underway. The face-off man for Exeter is Spencer Clark, who seems to have the inside track on the far side. In the future, Bryant Bulldog does come up with it as Exeter wins the opening face-off and takes first crack here on the attack. That's also on the far side, the coach's son, Connor Hawley, another one of these seniors, committed to Clarkson next year. We'll keep an eye on number 7, Hawley in white, as well as number 2, Spencer Clark.
Yeah, standard circle offense starting off here.
Pinkerton opening up in a man-to-man. Exeter with Hayden Lechner, another one of these talented seniors.
He had a good game against Bishop Girton that day.
A lot of these Exeter seniors have come up with each other, familiar from their days before. They were students at Exeter High School. Hawley spins, goes back behind the cage. Another touch for Jake Mantell, one of the seniors, trying to split, spinning out of trouble. Aiden Drunzik back out. Lechner going to swing it far side, now Clark. Defended by the long pole, that's Declan Turner, one of the Pinkerton captains, one of their better players, who gets a piece here. Turner in pursuit. Hawley cuts him off. Clark able to scoop. Keeps it for Exeter. Swung now to the near side, and we get the game's first whistle.
Procedure?
Looks like offsides. It's going to be turned over to the Astros.
I saw an Astro offsides, but over the 50.
Well, the officials, Roger, you were talking off air. 3 scheduled here. That's the sign of a big game, right?
That's what we see.
Meanwhile, shot for Pinkerton. It's Spellman just over the crossbar. It'll stay here.
It seems to be the norm when we see the top 4 or 5 teams in Division I playing each other.
And 3 of the top officials here today as well, right?
Yes. I see Tim Befke out there. I see Sean Riley out there. A good crew.
Yeah. Near side, it is Hunter Druin. We'll call his name, I'm sure, a lot tonight. The senior attack on his way to Colgate in the fall. A lot of veteran experience. Up top, Michael Uber. Cut off by Clark, back far side. This is Spellman. Spellman with
nice
step, a diving shot.
He's just in the crease. Yeah, no push there.
Tough angle, and it will be whistled back over to Exeter. That gets a rise out of the home bench. Just over 2 minutes gone by, no score, 1 trip apiece, and now the first, looks like 10-man ride getting set up here by Pinkerton. Astros going to make them work. Blue Hawks respond with Lechner, 3/4. Goes far side, and Clark's going to enter the zone without a challenge along the far sideline. Trip number 2 for Exeter, trying to get on the board here first.
Exeter seems very content in just slowing this pace down and finding their spots against a very tough Pinkerton defense. This is fine. This is good.
There's a running start. Hawley going to press. Goes near side. Press the issue. Drunzik takes a hit. Again trying to avoid a triple team. The ball squirts loose. And again picked up nicely on the run by Lechner near side as Exeter avoids a giveaway. Lechner bodied up pretty well by the Pinkerton defender, Andy McDonald. Versatile member of the basketball team back in the winter. Around the horn it goes. Back up top, Jackson Hale. Does have the inside track, goes low, and a nice stop. It's LeBlanc. Got a stick on it. Ground ball scooped up far side by Spellman. Goes back to his netminder, and now Pinkerton going to look to clear it here. The goaltender still has it.
Good
being
pressure.
harassed
Yes,
near
he got
side,
it.
and turned over.
He stepped right on the crease, right on the line. That's out and in, and you got a turnover there.
Excellent job by Jake Mantell, who rode him well, forces the turnover. So Exeter forces a Pinkerton mistake. They'll have another crack here. Nearly 4 minutes in, still no score.
Yeah, good pressure there on the ride, causing that turnover.
Clark, near side wing, back to Lechner.
Open field.
Pinkerton defense chatting. Lechner to his right, behind the cage. Surveyed, swung near side. Drunzik. Shield the ball. He's going to try and power his way.
Great
Slide
defense.
comes over. Left open is Hawley. Hawley to the middle, knocked down, flag flies. And this one is not going to be blown dead. Play continues now. It is scooped up chest high. And the game's first penalty is going to be assessed here against Pinkerton.
Yeah, that's going to be Declan Conroy. I think he's going to go for unnecessary roughness here. We'll see. Push. No.
30-second penalty, a push.
Getting the push there.
Goes against Kyle Zern, the junior. Drops down to his right knee. Shaking his head a little bit there.
Oh, it was Zern? Okay.
In the box. It is Zern.
My mistake.
So a 30-second EMO for Exeter. And, Roger, that was one of your topics you covered pregame.
Yeah, let's see what Exeter can do with this. Early in the game, getting a little rough and tumble out there, which is okay.
We expected a physical game today, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I did. Drunzik has attempted a couple of dodges, and he's got hammered. He hasn't lost the ball.
Shot by Hawley is the game's first goal. It comes from about 12, maybe 13 yards out. Hawley, given room to wind, lets it fly, and the Blue Hawks strike first. Great
play there. Exeter can move the ball on the perimeter quite nicely. Drunzik gets back there at X and is able to not even get pressure on him. Gets a good pass over to Holly.
Yep.
and does what he has to do.
So Connor Hawley, the coach's son, puts Exeter in front 1-0. The extra man opportunity paying off for the Blue Hawks. Loose near side, out of bounds.
It's gonna go.
It'll go with Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Good fight near side by the Astros. Kyoshi Dustin, the senior, able to carve out some positioning there and fight off Exeter's Adam Neal.
Yeah, that almost looked like a girl's face-off. The ball went about 15, 20 feet in the air. Haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah. All right. You can hear the Exeter bench vocal, trying to cheer on the defense. I think this is just the second Pinkerton possession.
Yes, it is.
Already nearly midway through this first period. Astros trying to tie the game. On the run, firing is Druin. Denied. It'll stay with the Astros, but read very well by Burnich.
Yeah, I like that play by Druin when you come over goal line extended and kind of fade away. And
no, it's not Burnich, actually. It's Ryan Tatman.
How about that?
In goal. The sophomore who has also seen some time this season. So, in the end, Coach Hawley goes with the sophomore over the freshman. Meanwhile, Spellman going to reverse direction around the far side.
Good slide.
Defender Hawley stumbled a little bit. Now a shot and a score from deep on that far side.
Mike Uber.
That is Mike Uber, you're right, the sophomore. Not afraid there to let it fly, and he zips it low, able to beat the goaltender and tie the game here at 1. We're just a couple of seconds away from midway through this first period.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. When you're 15 yards out and you got some traffic in front of you like Tatman had there, that's a hard ball to pick up. Good goal.
So, 1-1 at the X. Whistle.
It's going to be a push. Yep.
Gives it to Pinkerton. So 2-1 Astros at the X. Restart. All right, so Pinkerton trying to grab some momentum, I think, here for the first time. A chance to score back-to-back goals and take their first lead.
Yeah, where Exeter slowed things down, Pinkerton's certainly taking a little bit different tact here. They like to, I'm not saying they're running everywhere, but they're certainly driving harder.
Spellman, one of the members of the All-State watch list being ridden far side. That's Hale on him. Trying to shake off. Hale goes.
Good turn.
Voids the second defender and fired a little high. A couple inches over the crossbar. It'll stay at this end. The sun is shining. The folks have turned out. One of the bigger crowds of the season. Despite the fact that the student body is not allowed. Hopefully that'll change soon with the playoffs around the corner.
For sure.
Meanwhile, Druin looking for the screen.
Got a
Comes
good pick.
near side. He's got a cutter. Pass, though, little off target and low. It's going to go out of bounds. Turned over to Exeter.
Good pick down low there. It actually worked, and the cutter was right there, but just not the connection they were looking for.
Right idea, though.
I would say.
Meanwhile, Hale going to split defenders at midfield. Keeps it himself, coming middle, using that right shoulder to try and create separation. Bringing the fight to the defender. Far side, Mantell going to float one high. Lechner, a bullet pass near side taken by Clark. Game tied at 1. We hit the 5-minute mark, first quarter. Exeter open to reclaim the lead. Clark, one of the better all-around players, one of the better all-around athletes on the field.
Nice.
Goes in the middle.
Yeah.
Punzik, pinpoint. Yeah. Fires and scores, goes top shelf. Looked like over the right shoulder of the goaltender LeBlanc. And just like that, Exeter's back in front 2-1.
I'm telling you, this kid Drunzik, in traffic, he is very, very good. He does not get bothered by pressure. He was not triple teamed there or even double teamed like he had been on his subsequent drives. But that slide came late, and he knew where to roll off after the pass. Great play.
The junior committed to UMass, and you see why. As able to score despite pretty good defensive attention that he's received from Pinkerton, double, triple teams.
Yeah. And he's a big kid, and obviously he's strong. He's able to hold on to the ball in traffic.
Coming up on 4 minutes. Astros look to respond. They've won 3 of 4 at the face-off X. Going to capitalize. Near side.
Good check.
And, fortunate bounce. Good pass. Fanning on the shot, though, on the doorstep was Colby Gagnon. Ground ball and now a whistle. Some in the crowd not happy. It's turned over to Exeter. There is a pretty good amount of Astro fans dressed in their red and whites here in Exeter.
This is Sturdivant, the actual face-off midfielder.
Flags and a fly.
Going to get a late slash there by Hunter.
Hawley able to clear. He's going to keep it far side. It looks like the second penalty of the game is on the way against Pinkerton. Astro head coach Steve Gaudreau not pleased. Inside of 4 minutes. The home team up 2-1. Looking to make it 3-1. To the middle, Hawley, who scored earlier. Drops it for Lechner. It's going to fire and score. Sneaks it in. What, just inside that far post, Roger, did it low yet again.
Yeah, and this is a great play because this is a double dip if this is a personal foul. And the way he shot that ball down low is just you can't teach that. I don't
know if you can stop it.
Let me back up. You can teach that. To get them to do it and do it consistently in pressure like that is hard, and that was a good shot. Yeah, good play.
Yeah, really no room at all to spare.
No.
When that crossed the goal line.
I missed the signal from the ref, but I believe this is going to be a minute on Hunter Druin for a slash.
Comes with 3:40 to go in this first quarter. Back-to-back goals by the Blue Hawks. And Exeter's out in front 3-1.
Let's see what they can do here. Good opportunity for Exeter to capitalize here and go 3 up. But Pinkerton gets the face-off. So let's see what they can do to rag it and kill the clock. That was an important face-off for Pinkerton.
They've won 4 straight, Roger, 4 out of 5.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, that's.
Here's Mason Barboni, big part of the attack unit, the senior. Headed to Salve Regina, number 6 in red. Meanwhile, a double team far side has got Pinkerton's
triple.
Ryan Lynch in trouble. Lynch is on the ground, and the ball's back over to Exeter.
That almost looked like Bishop Girton-esque, the way the pursuit and the triple teaming over on that sideline was.
Like a pack of wolves there.
Yeah.
Forcing another early turnover. The ride giving the Blue Hawks a little bit of pause. They methodically are able to cross the 50 with a pass, but it doesn't last long. A good play by Dustin. The long pole turns it over. Barboni in traffic far side.
Good defense there by Pinkerton and great pursuit.
That's the second play we've seen from Kyoshi Dustin. Made a good play on a ground ball following a face-off, and they're able to clear over the top after coming away with the steal.
Yeah, he's got some talent.
One of these seniors for Coach Gaudreau. Astro attack. They've scored once. Playing short-handed. Here, are we back to even strength?
We are.
Yeah, we are. Barboni, meanwhile, slips. Far side. He's converged upon by Zach Gilver, senior defenseman for Exeter, and it's Lechner in the end who comes away with it for the Blue Hawks.
Gotta leg it.
Hale gets a step on the defender. It's a foot race. Hale towards the middle. Draws the slide. Drops it off for Drunzik. The trailer is Clark. He's got his eyes on the net. And he fires and scores from 15 out. Well, you could tell Clark had one thing on his mind, and that was scoring his first goal of the game and extending this run now to 3 unanswered goals. Timeout, Pinkerton. 4-1 Exeter inside of 2 minutes now remaining first quarter.
Yeah, Clark with just the blast, and that's something that the goalie should really pick up. It was a nice low shot, so he started high, went low, but he had a clear sight on that as well.
Well, what a start Exeter has been able to get off to. Despite being beaten consistently at the face-off X, they've been able to force turnovers. They've capitalized on an extra man opportunity already, and they score one at even strength there from it looked like 15, maybe even 16 yards out.
Yeah.
As these Exeter shooters they've come razor sharp here this afternoon for a big game.
Yeah, give the Blue Hawks credit on that, because that was a good play down low to get possession behind the goal, get a quick pass up to the midfielder who he had to have run 50 yards at full tilt to get that ball over field and get the touch, and then it went right over to Spencer Clark, and there it was. So that was a good heads-up lacrosse.
Yeah, the chemistry has been good, as Exeter has seemingly been able to make that extra pass. Played unselfishly. The selection in terms of shots has been good. So if you're head coach Jerry Hawley, I think you're pleased on a number of areas. And obviously that's translated to this 4-1 lead. Yeah,
one of the most noticeable things I'm seeing out there is the pursuit and the just the constant swarming of Exeter on the ride and on defense.
Yeah, they've been ruthless for sure. That sideline has been animated. And again, a big crowd never hurts either. At least big by these new normal standards.
That's true. It is a pretty good crowd, though.
One of the bigger crowds we've seen this season.
Yeah.
And again, one of the finer afternoons weather-wise here in New Hampshire. Meanwhile, they're going to give this to Clark, as Cole Frank was a little early. Exeter wastes no time as Clark turns on the gas, drops it back off now deep here along the near sideline. It's Hawley, and Exeter is going to set things up with about 90 seconds to go in this first quarter. They've looked good over the last few trips.
And if I'm Exeter, I'd just keep pouring it on here. You put the offensive pressure to them.
Clark going to go right.
He's going to be it. Oh.
He'll swing it. Drunzik testing the waters, back out now for Hale. Hale given room by Druin.
I like this set.
Down to 1 minute, first quarter. A patient possession by the Blue Hawks. A chance to stretch this to 5-1.
Going to try to get the attack involved here.
Hale. Hawley, far side. Back out far corner. Swung behind the cage, near side Drunzik. 40 seconds. Absorbs a check by Zern. Pass out of play, or shot rather, a little wide.
Interesting how Exeter has kept their two attackmen behind goal line there during that set, as if they were trying to lull the lower defenders asleep.
Off the screen near side, Hawley with room, fires just high. Couple inches over that crossbar. Hawley looking for his second here early on.
Almost takes Mantell with him.
21 seconds. Coach Gaudreau barking orders at the defense here.
Okay.
Timeout Exeter. See it with 15 seconds. As obviously Coach Hawley looking to draw something up here just before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, I can remember back in my coaching days at Bedford, we had a play that we used to run with a particular midfielder from the end line. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Hawley puts out there. Clearly, when you call a timeout with only 15 seconds left, you've got something in the back of your mind that you want to run here.
Yeah.
So you might see something where there's going to be certainly the ball coming in from the end line, but maybe a stack up top. Might see 4 or 5 across and one guy on the crease. It'll be interesting to see what this set looks like.
What are you saying here if you coach Gaudreau of Pinkerton?
Ready
for anything?
Play tight on everything you see, and don't let your guy escape, because it could be just 4 guys up top waiting for a cut, some cross cuts. Just got to play tight man-to-man here.
4-1 Exeter, as the Blue Hawks have looked good in this first quarter. They've scored 3 unanswered, a chance to make it 4. With just over 15 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
I don't see the good old dry erase board coming out of the Exeter huddle, so whatever they've got conjured up, they've probably been running in practice. This isn't something that comes off the Brad Stevens sideline timeout for a 22nd. Be interesting here.
All right, it'll be Hawley.
So nothing crazy fancy.
The senior, coach's son, puts it in play. Drunzik deep behind the cage. Down to 10 seconds. Looks for a cutter. Pass goes behind the target. Mantell rolls all the way to midfield. Druin's going to scoop it up. Druin to beat the clock. Denied. Stopped just before the buzzer.
Wow.
As the Blue Hawks, Ryan Tatman keeps Pinkerton off the board. A mistake there by the Blue Hawks. Druin nearly made them pay the length of the field, but in the end, it's Tatman, the sophomore, with a big save for Exeter. Good start for Exeter. The home team out in front 4-1 after 1. Right back to Bill Ball Stadium in a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
A good start for Exeter. They lead Pinkerton 4-1 after 1. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Both teams with just 2 losses on the season. Neither club has lost to anyone other than Bishop Girton and are vying for, well, I guess some momentum going into the second meeting, which will occur 2 days from now in Derry. But what kind of stock is in a game like this, Roger, for these two teams? It is, after all, still a regular season game.
Yeah, but it's close to the end. Playoffs are going to start in a couple of weeks. These two teams have not seen each other this year. If you want to see a team like this quality, I personally liked to always see them late in the year. But this is good competition, and it'll prime them up.
Face-off X has belonged to Pinkerton. As by my count, that's now 5 of 6.
That is what I have.
Exeter won the first. I guess they
5 of 7.
5 of 7, right? Because they did win one on a technicality just before the end of the first quarter. Druin harassing on the ride, forcing an errant pass that is still live. Bounces all the way to midfield. Druin scoops it up, and then a defender bounces off of him. We've seen that a few times already in this first half.
Drunzik is a tank. Just a tank.
Drunzik, one of 4 different goal scorers for Exeter. Meanwhile, Mantell knocked to the ground, bounces right back up with possession, no problem, and now it's Drunzik from behind the cage. Trying to use his force.
Nice play.
Shot,
nice
score.
Play.
Beautiful soft pass. That's Gavin Lechner, sophomore attackman. Not to be confused with Hayden, who scored earlier, but you like the pass there, Roger.
Oh, I loved it. It went through traffic. He found the crease. There was a slight hesitation on the defensive slide for the second, and there is Lechner right there. It was great play.
Nice catch, too, by the sophomore. Brought it in low and then able to fire seemingly in one motion. That's 4 unanswered now by Exeter.
Yeah, I'm a crease lover. My son plays crease attack at UNH. Anytime those guys in the center are getting the ball and work hard for it and make it pay, it's good. Look at this face-off with a long pole.
Knocked down. That is Exeter's Jonathan Bunnell.
And they're going to get it.
So Bunnell, I think that was his first face-off, right?
Yeah, first face-off today.
Not sure if it's Bunnell or Bunnell.
I think it's Bunnell.
Bunnell able to use that big frame and fight off. Looked like a couple of different Astros there.
So Exeter is certainly mixing it up on Cole Frank. That's the 3rd different face-off player out there. And to go long pole, I like that. I like mixing it up like that. That's what I would like to see them do against Murphy and at the BG level.
Over the top, Lechner, Clark. Near side draws 2 different defenders. A good off-the-ball movement. We've seen that throughout the first half. Clark going to pull it himself. Fires.
Boy, I like that choice of shots, though. He was going far corner high.
With some heat.
Yeah, with some heat.
Clark also scored at the tail end of that first quarter. Goals by Hawley, Drunzik, Hayden Lechner, Gavin Lechner, and Spencer Clark. Knocked away. Good play defensively by Joey Gallo. Long pole in the mix there for Pinkerton. And ultimately the Astros forced the turnover.
Yeah, Kyle Zern there with a nice check on Drunzik to get that ball loose.
Meanwhile, Druin lost it for a moment, recovers. Druin across midfield.
Ooh.
Tries to split a double team.
He's going to throw it, yep.
Eventually does. Flags fly. Druin still has it. Near side, Barboni is stoned. Rebound scored by Druin. Well, you want to talk about a highlight. Hunter Druin took a shot seemingly from about 6 different Exeter Bluehawks. Ultimately ends up with the goal on a second try. And Pinkerton gets what they needed desperately, an answer to that Exeter run.
That was simply incredible by Hunter Druin. He made that play happen by getting the ball upfield and over the 50. Just a great play with the rebound. Tapman made a great save there, too, that he should get an assist on.
Yeah, Tapman made the initial stop on Barboni, but to Druin's credit, still with enough gas in the tank after an exhausting, lengthy play.
Smart play.
To immediately follow it up and score the goal. Pinkerton comes back with a face-off win. And all of a sudden it feels like Lady Momentum has switched dresses yet again here, maybe wearing red right now.
Yeah, this is what's so special about this game and the way runs and momentum can carry you. Listen to the Pinkerton side here in the stadium, and it's I'm sure it's helping the boys along.
Yeah, they were quiet for a while.
Good
Spellman, spin move, pass near side, fumbled in the zone, and now a ground ball picked up by the Bluehawks. A whistle, though, is going to keep it here with Pinkerton. A bit of a shove there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was there. Maybe a push.
That was 3 minutes gone by, second quarter.
Oh, that
backdoor feed for Barboni. Not quite there. Out of bounds. Back over to Exeter.
Yeah, that's not something that you're going to be happy with after getting the ball back after actually a poor pass to the crease. And that's a wasted opportunity. This kind of cuts that momentum down.
Meanwhile, Hale able to get a step on the initial defender. Tosses it middle. Hawley able to clear. Hawley going to trot to a stop near side. Comes with a spin move. Dustin in pursuit, hacking with that long stick. Hawley able to keep it. Blue Hawks pull it out. They've got a 5-2 lead. They've been in control. Have not trailed so far here as we approach the midway point first half. Pass broken up. Yoshi another steal. Outlet from the goaltender. LeBlanc is going to free up Andy McDonald.
Good clear.
McDonald. Near side. Druin over the top. Finds a man in the middle. Jammed up. And then the ball scooped up in the crease by Tatman. Well, right idea. Exeter, good job defensively to recover.
Yeah,
and ultimately come away with it.
The Pinkerton player had his back to the cage and was going to try and do an underhand roll shot, and it hit a body instead. Not a bad choice when you're in traffic like that.
Meanwhile, Drunzik, near side for Exeter, up ahead for Gavin Lechner. Youngster dropped it. Recovered, though, by his teammate Mantell, the senior. Driven along the near sideline, going to pull it back out. Exeter showed poise more often than not on the attack in this first half. Hoping to slow it down maybe a little bit here. Hawley going to jog, reverse direction, deep on the wing. Maybe setting up his pick here with Aiden. Drunzik instead goes behind the cage. Mantell guarded by Zern. Zern trying to steer him to the far side. Slide comes over. Second defender is Turner. Mantell escapes trouble again behind the cage. Pass near side.
Ooh, he had a shot there.
Hale going to pass on it.
Ooh, on the head.
Hale took a shot. Flips it over the shoulder. Clark being ridden by the Leeds. Cameron Leeds, 28 in red. The long pole trying to drive him out. Clark maybe baited him. Draws the double. Swung near side. Hale swims through. Shot.
Hit a body.
Out of play behind the cage. Stays with Exeter. Nearly midway through. Second quarter. Astros working on a 5-2 lead.
Good possession here by Exeter.
Blue Hawks working on a 5-2 lead. Astros hoping for the stop. Mantle played well.
Both teams playing good on both sides of the ball right
now.
Yeah,
the defense has been good. The shooting has been excellent.
Gonna rip it.
Pass denied, and Lechner lets it fly. Little high, little wide. Drunzik's going to restart in the far corner. Drunzik on the wing. Clark, shot. Does not get out cleanly. Goaltender's out of the cage. LeBlanc able to scoop. Pass intercepted. Clark looking for options. Going to fire himself. And it goes high out and over to Pinkerton. Got the Astro fans clapping their hands. Well, a gamble there as the goaltender left the cage, scooped up the loose ball, and then turned it over. Clark, though, I don't think could find anyone open near the cage, so settled on the lengthy shot, which ends up out of bounds.
Yeah, that body that got in front of him made him think that he had to shoot it high.
Meanwhile, a flag here.
Yeah, there's going to be a slash right here in front of us. That's Jake Mantell.
Second called penalty on the way against the Blue Hawks. We've seen two against Pinkerton as well.
Let's see what Pinkerton can do with the double dip opportunity. That was almost an identical play to the Hunter Druin penalty on the ride.
Well, a chance to get back within two.
Goodwood.
Spellman.
Goodwood.
Got the step. Spellman able to dunk that one essentially. Went right at Tatman. With two Blue Hawk defenders really on his back there. Took a shot at the end.
Yeah, and there was a late slide there, too, by Exeter. The actual slide came from the other side of the field. Spellman, he's a horse. He can do what Drunzik's been doing on the Blue Hawks side.
Riley Spellman, just a junior, member of the football team. Took a pretty good shot there, as I mentioned, at the tail end of that shot from Yuli Ellis, one of Exeter's bruising football players in the fall. So a couple kids used to the contact at the tail end of that goal. A good one for Pinkerton. They needed it. They've scored back-to-back goals now and are back within 2 for the first time since about midway through the first quarter.
And they're going to be man down here to start with
face off to Pinkerton, near side. That was Liam Prescott.
And he's going to go again.
Prescott ends up on the ground. Tapman ends up with the ball, and a flag ends up on the play.
Late hit, I think, on this one.
Yeah, you see it. Ellis came charging in and just ran him over.
Yeah, another minute.
So Ellis seemingly still fired up. Second man in the box now. He joins his teammate Jake Mantell. So we got 6-on-4 here, Roger. What do you do if you're Exeter?
Fire away.
If you're Exeter?
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you're Pinkerton, fire away. If you're Exeter defensively, what do you do?
You stand tall. You try and stay in that box and defend the backside as best you can. This box will rotate, just move with the flow of the ball, but you got to watch the creeps on the backside, which is hard.
Barboni trying to change things up, goes far side, back up top. Spellman weaves through the defense, beautiful. And there's the shot and score. Pretty. Spellman firing up the bench, firing up the sideline, and firing up the Astro crowd here in Exeter.
Yeah, the other thing you got to watch for is one-on-one dodges, and he just dodged right through the box and a little flip back with his left hand. Good play by Spellman. That's two in a row.
So an EMO goal each way. We saw one from Exeter back in the first quarter. Timeout, Exeter. It comes with inside of 5 minutes to go in this first half. Things have tightened up here at Bill Ball Stadium. 3 unanswered goals by Pinkerton. The Astros are back within 1. Well, penalties have factored in. They factored in pretty much right away. About 5 minutes into the first quarter, Connor Hawley scored the game's first goal following a Pinkerton penalty that put Exeter in front 1-0. Mike Uber would come back less than a minute later to tie the game at 1 apiece about midway through that first quarter. Exeter would close out the frame with 3 unanswered goals. Aiden Drunzik, Hayden Lechner, and then Spencer Clark. That would make the score 4-1 after 1. In favor of Exeter, the Blue Hawk run continued. Less than a minute into the second quarter, Gavin Lechner, the sophomore, made it 5-1. But since then, Pinkerton has turned it around. Hunter Druin with a highlight-type goal. Riley Spellman, now back-to-back goals, including the latest on the extra man opportunity. And here we are at 5-4 with inside of 5 minutes to go before halftime.
Yeah, and the extra man opportunities have hurt Exeter. Pinkerton has certainly capitalized. And on faceoffs, Pinkerton, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they have handled whatever Exeter has thrown out there. Exeter has had 4 different face-off personnel out there. They're going back to Spencer Clark here to start play. But at the end there, they even had Hayden Lechner out there doing a face-off. So
Clark has taken the majority, including the game's opening face-off. He'll take one here. All in all, though, Pinkerton's freshman
already
Cole Frank has had the advantage. Clark a little early there. The Astros like it. They got a chance to tie as we move towards the 4-minute mark, second quarter. And again, that Pinkerton sideline, which was really quiet throughout most of the first quarter, alive and well as you can hear the hoots and the hollers, the general encouragement, as well as a few dozen folks here seemingly have made the trip from Derry in red and white, just in front of us here in the booth. Spellman looking for 3 in a row, and he's got it. The junior on a mission, pumping up the crowd yet again, waving that right arm. He is putting on a show here late in this second quarter.
And another great pick at the top of the crease, at the top of the box by number 15, Jackson Morissette, to allow Spellman to shed his defender just enough to take an extra step on the outside, get his hands extended, and get a good shot about 3/4 to sidearm there to even make it harder for the defense. So good job.
It's a game of runs. We saw, a 1-1 exchange early. 4 unanswered by Exeter, now 4 unanswered by Pinkerton. The last 3 have been scored by junior Riley Spellman. A push, a quick restart, and Pinkerton seeking their first lead of the ball game. Now inside of 4 minutes. Who's the man? Spellman's the man. That's who. A spin move along the near post. Burns Tatman yet again. And he's on fire right now. The Astros take the lead 6-5.
Yeah, he's starting to look like an attackman out there on that play. He took it right down. He is going to go back on attack here.
He attacked the goal there.
Yeah, he did. He did. He went around the backside of the crease and stopped, and Ellis just couldn't keep up. He's possessed right now. Give him the ball.
Clark against Cole. Frank. And it's Clark who gets a big win for Exeter.
Yeah, Frank looks like that left knee is giving him some trouble. He's running awkwardly right now. And
a little bit of a limp, it looks like. He's got a brace on that left knee.
Yeah, and I don't remember that from the early BG game we did over in Derry. And he's fixing and adjusting things right now. That might have been the reason why he had a violation early on. But
meanwhile, Holly takes a floating pass and scores top shelf. Second goal for the coach's son, senior Connor Holly. Great placement there. Gets an answer that Exeter needed. The game tied yet again.
If there's one thing I love in lacrosse, especially on the offensive side of things, is skip passes. If you can get the ball through the box like that and leave a guy wide open like Spencer Holly, there's just no chance for the goalie. And Lechner made a great pass through the box.
An explosive first half. 6-6. Still with 3 minutes and change to go before halftime. Coming up at halftime, a look around the state. A lot of games in action here. Final 2 weeks of the regular season. A recap of the first half as well on the way at halftime. Pinkerton a face-off win.
Yeah, Bunnell out there, the long pole on the face-off again to try and mix things up here on Cole Frank.
Ultimately, it's Hunter Druin gets to the ground ball, and Pinkerton, with now inside of 3 minutes, second quarter, after trailing most of the first half, a chance to retake the lead before halftime. This is Uber, who scored Pinkerton's first goal. Gets the step, fires a bouncing shot just wide.
Yeah, it came out of his stick strange. He kind of went way down quickly. My question is, where is Mr. Spellman?
I think that's a question Exeter needs to be asking, right?
Yeah.
Identify the hot player.
He must be gassed because he's not out there right now.
No, he's getting a well-deserved rest.
Oh, up high. Yep.
Meanwhile, flag is going to fly.
And he's going to get
another flag.
It's going to be either a cross-check or a push on the second little.
That's the senior defenseman for Exeter, Davis Nelson, with the long pole. Pretty good hack job there. It's going to pay the price. The officials have been busy in this first half. Both teams accumulating a lot of penalties.
Yeah, let's see what the call is here. Unnecessary roughness for one, and a hold on the second one. So minute 30 here.
Comes with 2:32 to go. Davis down on his right knee, trying to explain himself to the Exeter coaching staff. Coach Holly still in the ear of the official as well as they continue to chat. So potentially a costly penalty against Exeter here inside of 3 minutes. Game tied at 6. Pinkerton, they want the lead back. They held it very briefly, less than a minute, after trailing most of this first half.
Yeah, I have to agree with the referees on this one. Pretty violent hit.
Meanwhile, Spellman, Roger, is back in. Top of the box, 17 in red for Pinkerton.
Yeah, and EMO, you can't afford not to have him in there for sure.
Shot wide there. I think the defender may have gotten a piece of it as it came out of Druin's stick.
Pinkerton a little bit slower on this extra man this time around.
Yeah.
Maybe that extra 30 seconds is
a little more methodical.
Yeah.
Can afford to be, I guess.
A little skip.
Spellman. No. Tatman made a waist-high save. Outlet comes near side, and now Exeter trying to escape the ride. It's easier said than done.
Go back. Go back.
The long pole. Bunnell is in trouble. Bunnell near side, helped out by Lechner, and Lechner going to be met at
afterward.
midfield, hit high. Stays on his feet, avoided a pretty good shot. At about the 48-yard line, Clark now on the far side sets up Drunzik, goal line extended. Deep behind the cage, Mantell. Exeter shorthanded. Clock ticking down towards a minute. Game tied at 6. Blue Hawks, they want the lead at halftime.
Keep it behind, Exeter. Keep it behind.
Drunzik being driven back towards midfield.
They were even.
That's Turner, perhaps Pinkerton's top defender on him. Hawley gets to the inside, draws a slide. He's triple teamed. The ball's loose. Drunzik, Johnny on the spot, far side. Bumps the brakes, comes back middle, looks for a cutter. 45 seconds.
Ooh, nice play.
Turned over. Kicked ahead by Turner. Turner takes a shot from Clark. And then it's Druin for Pinkerton. 35 seconds on the run. Druin near side. It's inside of the defender. Goes around the cage. Back to the middle. The shot wide. Foot race in the corner. It'll be kept at this end with Pinkerton. 25 seconds to go. First half. Timeout.
Yes.
Coach Gaudreau.
Yes. I was just about to say, I was surprised that he didn't take a timeout when the ball came over half field. Would have had a little more time to set things up here, but Druin was on his horse. You weren't going to stop him. He was going full speed.
There's a look at that Tatman save a moment ago. Came off the skip pass. Would have been Spellman's 4th goal of this first half.
5th.
Does he have 4?
He has 4.
Yeah, you're right. He scored 4 in a row about midway through this second quarter. And as you saw there a moment ago, Tatman denying what would have been number 5. 6-6. What a game.
Yeah.
Again, it's been a game of runs, true to the slogan. 4 unanswered at one point by Exeter, 4 unanswered at one point by Pinkerton.
Yeah, this has been great action up and down. I could do without the penalties in the box play here.
Think the penalties have been warranted, though?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I have absolutely no qualms with anything the 3 officials have called today. Everything they've called has been what
a physical game.
It's been a physical game.
Yep.
There's a couple of things out there I think they've missed, but with a game like this, very heightened teams, high level skill levels out there. You expect a little bit of roughhousing, and I like to see them let them play like that. But
we expected that type of a game. First meeting, first of 2 this week, between 2 of the best teams in Division I, both vying, I guess, for second place. We know, of course, that records don't mean much this year in the regular season, given the open tournament format. Everybody eligible for the postseason. The seedings are a little more random and not based on record, so you've got that element as we continue to navigate the COVID-19 situation, but still a big game in terms of who's who. And, well, given it's the first meeting, there's a little bit more of anticipation regarding that as well.
Yes, of course. And we should be doing a doubleheader on Thursday if
we could.
If we could.
We'll be in Portsmouth. We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. 15 seconds to go.
Nice cut.
The cut, the shot, a little high. Gallo let it fly. Tatman races to the ball with 12 seconds to go. Well, it looks like it's going to be Clark who actually will restart deep behind the Exeter cage.
They're going to stack here on the offensive side of the field at the corner of the box, give it a rip, and chase it.
Throws it the length of the field.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Coach Hawley was looking for.
No, nobody touches it. It goes out of play and back to Pinkerton. Did take about 6 seconds off the clock.
You want to toss that down the middle of the field between the hash marks towards the box and break off the stack.
Spellman will let it fly.
Yeah.
And same result. He goes out of play with less than a second remaining. They've got .3 on the clock. Long enough, I guess, for the official to blow the whistle and then blow it again. There's the horn.
It's a good shot.
It was on track there. It wouldn't have counted.
It would not have counted.
6-6 at halftime. You could not have asked for a more competitive first half. We'll come back to recap the action. Plus, we'll take a look around the state as well. A busy Tuesday night in boys and girls lacrosse. 6-6. Pinkerton and Exeter tied at halftime. You are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Halftime here in Exeter. Bluehawks and Astros tied at 6 apiece. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. And what a first half. And very entertaining, hard-fought first half, and perhaps fitting that the game is even to begin the second half.
Yes, and this is the most exciting game we've done all year, in my opinion. It's great to watch teams like Bishop Girton come out and show their skill, but the competition level hasn't been to their level. In this one here, you got head-to-head matchup that has been equal to the task on both sides. Great job.
Yeah, Exeter scored on special teams to begin the game. About 5 minutes in, Connor Hawley, the senior, made it 1-0 on the EMO. Mike Uber, less than a minute later, came back for Pinkerton to tie the game. That was about midway through the first quarter. Then Exeter went on a 4-0 run. Aiden Drunzik, Hayden Lechner, Spencer Clark, Gavin Lechner, in that order, gave Exeter their largest lead, about 5-1, with about a minute gone by in the second quarter. That's when Pinkerton went on a run of their own. They scored 5 straight. Hunter Druin made it 5-2, and then the Riley Spellman show commenced about midway through the second period as the junior scored 4 unanswered, one of those on the EMO, all in a span, Roger, of what, a minute 25. He scored 4 in a row in less than a minute and a half, gave Pinkerton the lead at 6-5, but they held that lead for less than a minute as Connor Hawley came back to tie the game at 6 with just about 3 minutes or so to go before halftime. And that is where we are right now with the third quarter looming, game tied 6 apiece.
Yeah, Riley Spellman was the story of that second quarter. Just a train that was unstoppable. Loved to see that. Was surprised to see him, on the bench there on that next offensive set after his 4th goal, but they popped him out there on the EMO. One thing I have to note, I've known Steve Gaudreau, the coach of the Astros, for a long time, and I have coached beside him, and at halftime, he's pretty docile. Today, he was fired up. Talking to his team on the end line there. They were all around him in a circle. They were all listening intently, and he had something to say to them. And let's hope that that's the spark for them to get them going here in the second half.
Yeah, the Astros seemingly came out maybe a little slow in that first quarter. That allowed Exeter to build up that 5-1 lead. But, well, the animation has really been present down there on the visitor sideline since that second quarter run. And this crowd as well has played a slight factor, I think, as well. I think the majority are still Blue Hawk supporters, Exeter fans here in Exeter, but again, Derry has traveled well and have carved out a good portion of this bleacher section to our left. So there's some support directly behind the visitor bench, and that's good to see, obviously, after what we've gone through over the last 14 months.
A lot of noise. And
Spellman knocked down, flag flies. A lot of penalties in that first half, as we noted. One's going to come here against Exeter just 7 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, this is going to be on Connor Hawley for a slash. It was clear. Oh, he's going to call him a trip. I thought he hit him up high.
Either way, it's a minute.
The stick came through, and either way, it's a minute. But
how many penalties, Roger?
I've got 5 for Exeter and 1 for Pinkerton.
Just 1 against the Astros.
Yeah, just 1.
It came again early on in the first quarter.
That was Hunter Druin on the slash on the clear when he was riding.
So Hawley with the trip. The senior watches down on his right knee from the penalty box. Astros threatened to take the lead. They held the lead late in that second quarter. Very briefly. They'll take the lead again. It's backdoor time for Ryan Lynch. Sophomore attackman. Frees himself up near the cage, and the Astros retake the lead.
What a great play by Hunter Druin to turn 180 around and see him just parked right on the pipe. Great offensive play. Good sneak.
Second EMO goal for Pinkerton. First goal of the night for Ryan Lynch, the sophomore. Takes the good feed from up top. And knew what to do around the cage, able to beat Tatman. Pinkerton with the lead.
It's a third EMO goal for Pinkerton.
Third?
Yeah, third.
Meanwhile, knocked down again is Spellman, and another flag is flown. This time it looks like it's against Pinkerton. The rough play continues. Spellman walks off the field. I'm not sure who the penalty's against here. It is Spellman. Yep.
Cross-check.
Okay.
And locked. 1 minute lock.
Wow.
He must have got him in the head. I did not see it, I'll admit. But clearly. And the natives do not like the call.
The Astro fans unhappy. Spellman in the box. Second penalty against Pinkerton. Just so we're clear, Roger, I've got Lynch a moment ago on that extra man goal for Pinkerton. We saw one of Spellman's in the first half. What was the third?
Number 9. Hold on a second. Yes, number 9 was in the box for Exeter, Nelson. And that goal was scored by number 25 from Pinkerton, Mike Uber.
Oh, okay. So the first one. That's
Yep.
right. You're right. That came about midway through the first quarter.
That could have been a call right there, too.
They're going to let it go, though. Exeter looking to tie the game.
This is where you need to run a fast extra man offense. You want as many goals you can get, many shots as you can get, and you do not want to play perimeter like they're doing right now. You want to get in tight like this.
Behind the cage, Drunzik looking to feed.
Nice skip.
Out top.
Yes.
Shot, score. It's Jackson Hale, the senior, on his way to Franklin Pierce to play for Coach Senator. Lights the lamp, ties the game at 7.
Yeah, great pass again from Drunzik behind the cage. And another skip pass through the box.
And another EMO goal. 2 now for Exeter. We've seen 3, as Roger highlighted, from Pinkerton. So special teams factoring in. All this coming with less than 90 seconds gone by in this third quarter. So Hale ties the game at 7. Senior has played well tonight. He's played well all season. Part of this special senior group that has played many years together here in Exeter. This one turned over. Errant pass between Gallo and Frank ends up out of bounds.
Oh, push.
Another trip. Somebody went flying there.
This was completely unexpected to see this many penalties in this game. But they're all there. It's not.
It's our third of the third quarter already. Less than 2 minutes in.
We'll go 5 on 5 here because Druin's still in the box on the lock penalty.
Spellman.
I'm sorry, yes,
Yep.
Spellman.
He's down there. What, for another
15?
Yeah. Unnecessary roughness, officially the call. It goes against Exeter senior Spencer Clark. Senior on his way to Bryant to play with a talented Bulldogs program.
Who just
Bryant
got ousted in
University.
the first round in
Yeah,
NCAAs.
They fell to Virginia
Yeah.
on Sunday.
And that was the...
No shame in that, though. Virginia, the defending national champion, right?
I'm a closet Virginia fan. I love Virginia.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 2006 finals against UMass. And
That's right.
They beat them. We were there, Philly. Nice
Shot,
goal.
score.
Nice goal.
On the run, able to catch and fire. It's Joey Gallo, the sophomore. Part of this wave of underclassmen being developed at the varsity level under Coach Gaudreau. Gallo able to score for the first time, and back and forth we go.
Yeah, and I'm going to count that as an EMO goal because I think Spellman came out, and they were 6
You're
on
right.
5.
Yep.
So that's going to be an EMO goal for Pinkerton.
So 3 total, or 3 combined EMO goals to begin the second half.
Crazy.
One by Ryan Lynch of Pinkerton, Jackson Hale of Exeter, and just there, Joey Gallo of Pinkerton. Another violation here against Exeter.
No, Pinkerton.
Well, they're going to give it to Exeter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do we got for face-offs here, Roger?
As
we get a shot here and a score by Drunzik.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Blink and you miss it. Just 10 seconds later, Drunzik comes up with the tire.
Forgive my hesitation in answering your question because I saw this goal coming and I couldn't stop. So,
Right.
Drunzik again.
That's his second.
Yeah, assisted by Spencer, or excuse me, by Connor Hawley. On the faceoffs, I've got 12-5.
Pinkerton. Yep. Yeah, they won 4 of 5 to begin the game. Since then, it's evened out a little bit. The freshman Cole Frank has been busy for Pinkerton. Frank a little too early there, though, second time in a row. Makes it now 12-6. Exeter has won 2 in a row, and they look to retake the lead here. With the game tied at 8. We're hoping the game can get a little momentum, a little flow here after an abundance of whistles.
Good play.
Clark.
There's a save.
Not Clark, that was Hawley. LeBlanc, who was busy early in the game, had some trouble seeing the ball during that run for Exeter, but a good save there by the sophomore. Trying to tighten things up in this second half for Pinkerton. Astros, meanwhile, looking to reclaim the lead as the attack settles in. Backpedaling is Uber, who gives way now to Gallo.
Yeah, I've recounted my stick people. It's actually 14-5.
14-5.
14-5.
Okay. Meanwhile, Druin looked good in that first half. For Pinkerton, the senior headed to Colgate.
Bad
two-man
play.
game, backdoor, shot denied.
Missed it. Wow.
It hit on the, what happened there, Roger?
It was a great play by the two Pinkerton players.
That's Spellman over there who was talking to the ref.
And the defense got mixed up. He was wide open, and he hit the crossbar, and then he stepped in the crease.
Wasn't sure if Tapman got a piece of that or not. Meanwhile, Hawley going to avoid 2 checks. Come into the zone, gives way to Clark. And now Exeter going to set up shop with 4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Hoping to break open this 8-8 tie.
That was a great offensive play down low by Pinkerton there.
Come up empty, though.
Yeah.
Lechner. Little start and stop near side. Draws a slide. Pass in the middle, taken by Hale. Hale trying to swim through 2.
Nice save.
Shot there, denied. LeBlanc got a piece. Loose ball. Out of the fray comes Hale. Clark, extra pass, far side.
Yes, smart.
Shot and score.
Smart.
Jake Mantell. The extra pass from Spencer Clark sets up his classmate. The senior capitalizes, and Exeter's back in front 9-8.
What a smart play there by Lechner coming out of the pile. Jackson Hale, and getting that ball across. And then to go down low and see no defenders there. Great play.
Mantell, who has been held off the score sheet until now, although he's played well. He's played most of the game. For Coach Hawley, he capitalizes there. And right now, that's the difference at 9-8.
Bunnell out there in the face-off again.
Yep, but it's Spellman who comes up with the ball, absorbs 2 hits, lost his stick, lost the ball.
That's got to go to Pinkerton because the Exeter player played it.
Well, the initial
procedure
against Riley Spellman, saying he was staying in the mix without the stick.
Exactly.
Well, it looked like Tim Bethke initially signaled Pinkerton possession. It was overruled by one of the Riley brothers, right?
That's right. That's James doing us a huge favor by referencing high school games.
He's an NCAA official, you were telling me.
He has done quite a few NCAA games this year, I heard. That's a push.
It's Gavin Lechner who got knocked down in that far corner.
I actually don't like that call over here on the sidelines. Spellman really had nowhere to go.
I'm not sure what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think he bent over to get his stick. and the ref saw
He put his hands up.
Yeah.
In the middle of the fray, trying to get the call in his favor. Instead, it goes to Exeter. Let's see if the Blue Hawks can capitalize. They have a 1-goal lead on the board. Now 5 minutes gone by, third quarter. It's been just about as tight as you can guess most of the way. Exeter held an early 5-1 lead. That was about, 2 minutes or so into the second quarter.
Gets bumped.
Hale knocked down. Ooh. Officials let it go. Pass ends up out of bounds back over to Pinkerton.
Yeah.
So the Astros given a little bit of breathing room perhaps after a call did not go their way a moment ago.
Yeah, I saw referee Bethke kind of make a motion to his pocket and then let it go.
The ride has been good both ways. Uber comes up with the clear. Hounded on the far side by the defender Matt Campfield. Another senior from this talented senior class for Exeter. Campfield is headed to Belmont Abbey.
They're actually a decent program down in the south.
Certainly a growing program in that region. Spellman carried Pinkerton for a while in that first half with 4 unanswered goals.
That was great defense by Spencer Clark. He rode his hips the entire time he was dodging down the alley.
Barboni took over. Swung by Uber near side for Druin's going to backtrack to the 40.
Watch the big long slide here.
Past the midway point, third quarter. Pinkerton seeking the equalizer.
He finds an
slide
opening.
Comes over. That's Yuli Ellis, the defender. The long pole on him. Another man comes over.
There's a mismatch.
Nathan Jasper. No, Adam
He's
Neal
open.
threw a check on him. Pass taken near side with room by Gallo, who is now going to bring the defender Neal behind the cage.
Great.
Neal, who's got some size, takes a shot at him. He shakes him off. Slide comes over. Pass for Spellman, never quite handled by Spellman. Tatman emerges from the goal.
Push.
His hit from behind. The flag flies. Uber,
wow,
just heads right over to the sideline after knocking Tatman on his chest. A physical game summed up right there. It's been raucous at times here in Exeter tonight.
Wow. Tatman, he should be out there with a midi stick. He was moving.
He was flying. He was sprinting.
He was cranking.
And when he got hit, he looked like Superman there for a moment going through the air.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him get over the 40 and keep going. But
comes with just over 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
But Dion's going to get in the box, and let's see what Exeter can do here on the EMO.
Well, it was a good pass to try and set up Spellman at the beginning of that play out in front of the crease. Tatman ends up with the ball and does his best 50-yard dash, 40-yard dash, I guess, to midfield. Takes the hit. Another penalty against Pinkerton. Penalties have really been an issue for both teams.
Yeah, this is their third penalty. Let's see what they can do. Wide
Second
open.
of this third quarter.
Oh, Lechner.
Meanwhile, Hayden Lechner denied along the near pole. Recovers the ground ball, however. Out for Hawley. Drunzik, extra pass. Hale, near side.
Nice look.
Back door. Good catch. Shot denied by LeBlanc. Ground ball to Pinkerton. That's McDonald who gets on it. McDonald keeps it himself. Throws a bounce pass, but stepped out of bounds first. Turned back over to Exeter.
Oh, that should be a quick whistle.
Good ride by the Blue Hawks. Now the whistle does come, and here's the restart deep from the far wing. Both clears have been very formidable.
Yes. It's gotten a little more muddled in the middle here, and the passes are a little sloppy, but they're getting to the men.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Exeter by 1, looking for breathing room. Clark being ridden by Zern. Zern forces it out. It's loose. LeBlanc out of the cage, took a swipe at it. Kept inbounds barely by Drunzik along that back line. Bounce
even.
pass. Hale gets inside.
Oh!
Shot and score. Goes far side, upstairs, sniper-like. Second goal of the game. Second goal of this third quarter. And that's got the Blue Hawk fans celebrating. Exeter by 2, 10-8.
Yeah, good persistent play there by the Blue Hawks. They kept the ball in bounds, hustled on the checks, and got the ball back. And Hale just gives a good crank. The entire Pinkerton defense was down in that 15-yard area, leaving him wide open.
So just inside of 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Exeter's going to win one.
10-8. Blue Hawks have gotten better as the game has gone on, seemingly at the X, after Pinkerton held the early advantage. Gavin Lechner, wild shot. Goes wide. Good job by Mantell.
Now, again, that wasn't officially a man-up goal there, Nick, but
close.
It was pretty close. They had just gotten back 6-6.
Coming up on 3 minutes, third quarter.
New legs. Trevor Grant.
Yep. First action for Grant, the senior. Two-man game near side. Clark goes middle,
Nice
takes himself. Shot won't get through, though. Denied by the defense. Way up in the air. Ground ball.
Nice
Shot
save.
again. Stopped by LeBlanc. Speaking of getting better as the game has gone on, the sophomore goalie for Pinkerton has shown steady improvement since the game opened.
Yeah, I had him for one save in the first half, and here he is with 4 already in the third quarter.
Seen a lot of rubber tonight, right, Ron?
You like that, don't you?
I do. I like when you say that. Drunzik near side. Spins. Good defense there by Turner to force him out. Now it's Clark going to go back up top for Grant. Grant looking for the step right side. Backdoor intercepted by LeBlanc. Good heads-up play by the sophomore. Comes away with the turnover. Now it's McDonald. Full sprint near side. Good clear. Druin looking for the inside touch. 2 Exeter defenders on him. Druin, shifty as they come. Colgate commit. Going to steer it back over to Spellman on the near side wing. Astros hoping to cut this Exeter lead in half as we head towards 2 minutes to go. Third quarter. Both teams coming in with just 2 losses on the season. Uber. Backdoor. Lynch, who scored to begin the second half.
Good check.
Lost the ball.
Oh, he's on his back.
That's when Exeter's bigger defenders, Zach Gilver, all over him. Whistle will give this to Pinkerton.
Yeah, he was on his back, wouldn't let him up.
Barboni, the restart near corner. Inside of 2 minutes, third quarter.
Yeah, Gilver's got some size to him.
Yeah. Quicker than he looks, too.
Yeah.
Spellman, far side.
Good slide. Still at?
Yeah. Lost his footing, stayed up, and then threw it off the crossbar of the upright for the football team. But his teammate, the closest to it in Lynch, it'll stay at this end. Final 90 seconds of the frame. This is Uber. Near side, Hawley not giving him an inch. Gallo will try his luck on the far wing. Nowhere to go. Good defense by Campfield, who's played well tonight for Exeter. Druin, deep on the near wing, wants the one-on-one. Going to take it right to Davis Nelson, the long pole. Brings him behind the cage. Couple of spin moves.
He's got a man.
Looking for a cutter. Now back to the cage, being hit, being driven out. Trying to swarm away from the bigger Nelson. Gets a step to the middle. Slide comes over. Switch. Now taking pass up top. Uber lets it fly. Did that hit the pole?
I thought he hit.
Maybe it was Tapman.
No, it hit Tapman.
Tapman's left hand, it looked like. Good ground ball, and then a good clear by Bryce Sturvedant for the Blue Hawks, who had a good possession there defensively for Exeter. Final 35 seconds, third quarter. A chance for the home team to really end with an exclamation point. They've got a 2-goal lead on the board here, 10-8. Hoping to increase that lead to 3. Hale.
Oh, breaks through.
Yeah, briefly got around the defender, then lost the ball. LeClaire hoping to get on top of it. LeBlanc, rather. Does get to it. Floats a pass near side for his teammate Zern. Final 10 seconds. Zern launches a long pass down the middle of the field. Takes a high bouncer. Still rolling towards the Exeter net. On the inside now is Gilver. Gilver wrestling with Barboni as the horn sounds, and that'll do it. Third quarter in the books. Exeter opens up a 2-goal lead, 10-8. Will that be enough? Or will Pinkerton steal one on the road in the fourth quarter? We will begin to find out next. You're watching the Friday Night Lights Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, buckle up. 12 minutes remaining, at least in regulation, here in Exeter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. 10-8 our score. Two Division I Titans meeting for the first time. By the way, the regular season rematch occurs just 2 days from now in Pinkerton. 10-8 Exeter. Roger, your thoughts through three quarters?
Well, we have gotten our money's worth in this one today.
I'd say.
This game has had everything. It's had extra man offensive goals. It's had penalties. It's had great acrobatic saves. It's had a great acrobatic goal by Druin. We've seen outside shots. We've seen crease shots. We've seen everything in this game, and this is what I love about lacrosse. It's just you just don't know what you're going to see when you come out to the field, and these two teams are battling. They are battling hard out there. This could be one of the best quarters of lacrosse that I've seen all season long upcoming here, because neither of these two teams, they don't like to lose, and they got great coaches on both sides and very, very skilled and deep rosters on both sides. So this will be exciting.
Meanwhile, the face-off X, what do we got there? I think 14-7.
You're just testing my math skills to beat the band, aren't you? I got 15-6.
15-6.
Which matches the score.
I will take your word for it.
15-6.
Yep.
And
that's in favor of Pinkerton. They won, remember, 4 out of the first 5. Exeter has shown improvement since, and they'll get a big one here. That's Spencer Clark, the senior, who, although the Blue Hawks have rotated face-off men, he has still taken the majority, I'd say.
Yeah.
To this point.
Yeah, I don't think he has not taken a face-off.
Meanwhile, Hawley, left alone, going to fire. A little high. Out of play. That's Connor Hawley. He's scored twice. By the way, Roger, you mentioned all the different things we've seen through three quarters. Seen a lot of different goal scorers for both teams as well.
Yeah, which you really like to see with your team. You want to make sure that they're getting quality shots and they're looking the field over and have great vision to see who's open. And this is why you run your offenses through plays, and you want guys in certain positions because you're going to get everybody involved at that point.
Exeter, at one point led by as many as 4. That was early in the second quarter, when they were out in front 5-1. Pinkerton rallied back before halftime to tie the game at 6. Penalties reared their ugly head both ways early in that third quarter, as neither team could build much momentum. But the final few minutes belonged to Exeter as they rallied off 3 in a row, all even strength, and hold a 2-goal lead here with now just over a minute gone by in this fourth quarter.
So I can almost tell what Coach Hawley told the Blue Hawks at the end of the quarter, which is don't do anything crazy with the ball. We're up by 2, run our offense, be methodical, and make sure they're calling keep it in here as a stall, just as I say that. Nice play.
Hawley jammed up, though, on the shot, got the initial step. Ground ball near side. Clark.
The keep it in is still in effect. He's out.
Clark backdoor.
Oh.
Wild shot by Mantell. Ends up out of play. Good hustle by Drunzik on the weak side, though. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna reset here.
This has been a good matchup to watch, Roger. Drunzik versus Turner.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Two of the best, perhaps, in the state.
Yeah, Drunzik has really impressed me from the very start of the game when he was triple-teamed twice and didn't lose the ball. You can tell he was full of fire.
Junior headed
nice
to
move.
UMass. Meanwhile, this is Hawley, and there's the hat trick. The senior with a gorgeous individual move. Exeter with their largest second-half lead, now at 11-8.
Yeah, he comes out from behind goal line extended, picks up a short stick midfield defender, and he just outruns him to the 7-yard line and gives it a good crank. Good left-handed shot there.
So Hawley has led the way as the high goal scorer now for Exeter. 3 goals.
Exeter back-to-back face-off wins.
Yep. Hawley on his way, of course, to Clarkson.
It's cold up there.
Is it?
It's cold up there, way up in the northern part
What
of
town
New
is
York.
that?
I'm not sure what the town is, but it might even be Clarkson, New York, for all I know. But it's way up north. I have one of my players that just graduated from Clarkson, played 4 years up there, Andrew Schroeder, and boy, is it cold up there.
Well, if you were raised up here, I think you'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
I know upstate New York with the wind coming off Lake Erie can be
Nice
can
rip.
be brutal as the shot ends up off the crossbar. But there's something to be said with spending some New Hampshire winters year after year up here, too.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, ground ball continues, and ultimately it's the long pole for Pinkerton.
Leads.
Cameron leads, keeps his balance. Then his pass, though, broken up along the far sideline. Another ground ball. We got, 6 players in there, 3 on each side, and now a whistle will give this to Pinkerton.
Yeah, Leeds' father is a NHLOA referee. He's one of the go-to refs out there. He's done a couple of games we've done this year, in fact.
Yeah, I was about to say
Tyler Leeds.
The Leeds name, wasn't sure if there was a connection there.
That is his son, a senior.
Made a good play there. Astros hoping to capitalize on it. 3.5 already gone, 4th quarter. Pinkerton trails by 3 for the first time since they did midway through the 2nd quarter. Spellman scored 4 times tonight. He's the game's high scorer. Tries to sneak one low there. Tapman may have gotten a piece. It ends up out of bounds on the near side.
I like that shot selection there by him to go down low, far corner. A lot of goalies want to stand tall on the pipe there.
Spellman
going to try
looking
again.
for the same shot. Kind of a tough angle.
Ooh.
Ends up out of play. Good hustle on the near side by Exeter's Campfield. He's made those winning plays, and he makes one there for Exeter.
He's fired up. He looked like Forrest Gump on that coming off the field.
He did. Full sprint, and now he's swarmed by his teammates on the sideline.
He's going to go right into the runway at the stadium.
Yeah, it's been that kind of a game, an emotional game.
Oh, big mess there.
Good pass middle. Drunzik swarmed by a sea of red. Lost the ball. Stays with it, though, in the far corner.
Getting beat on there.
Yep. Scoop pass. Taken by Mantell behind the cage. And now Gavin Lepner, the sophomore, standing just in front of Exeter. Athletic director Bill Ball on that far sideline. Near sideline, excuse me.
Yeah, watch this matchup in the middle between Dustin and Drunzik. They've been at each other all game, and they just had a little conversation.
Meanwhile, Hawley's been hard to stop. Makes 2 men miss. Stops behind the cage. Lechner's calling for it. They find Gavin.
Oh,
fakes
nice.
the shot. Gets a better one, and then it's denied by LeBlanc. Well, LeBlanc with a good read there. Just a cat-quick stop for the sophomore who's gotten better as this game has gone on, as we've said.
He sure has.
Meanwhile, against the clear.
Nice look.
Barboni in the middle, and it's
beautiful.
finished off by Ryan Lynch. The 2-on-1.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the Pinkerton portion of Bill Ball Stadium shaking as they are stomping on the aluminum bleachers here, trying to spur on the visitors. 5 minutes into this 4th quarter, Pinkerton is back within 2 at 11-9.
Lynch to Barboni, and that was just textbook. Fast break play, great look to the center, very unselfish. He could have taken a big blast there about 7 yards out and did the right thing and got it down low to Barboni, and that was just a great play.
So it's Lynch who scores, Barboni on the assist, and we're back within 2 at 11-9. Face-offs, though, Roger, have started to turn Exeter's way after they went seemingly overwhelmingly Pinkerton's way in that first half.
Yeah, and Sturdivant comes up with their 3rd straight win in this quarter.
Meanwhile, Mantell chased out of the zone near side. Clark now back up top. Exeter a 2-goal lead as we approach the midway point 4th quarter. Hayden Lechner Scored once back in that first quarter.
Yeah, this is what I do if I'm Exeter. You gotta control things here.
Clark trying to shake off Zern.
open.
Finds Hawley up top. The low shot goes wide.
Yeah, I got to hand it to the Pinkerton defenders. They are putting some wood on Exeter. They are getting good cross-body slap checks, and they are making contact. So they're not getting called, but Exeter's going to have a bruise fest when they get home tonight.
Yeah.
Good
shot.
Oh, nice.
Score. It's Gavin Lechner. Able to get just enough room there on the near side wing to let it fly. Perhaps caught the Pinkerton defense by surprise.
Yeah, I think
Exeter by 3 yet again at the midway point.
He clearly caught LeBlanc by surprise. Offhand shot to LeBlanc's left side, left corner. And that's, as I've said before, one of the hardest saves for a goalie to make. High, a little easier than belt line down, but good choice of shot there.
So Gavin Lechner, who scored back in that first half.
Nice.
Pinkerton freshman Cole Frank able to win a much-needed face-off here. Although Druin runs into trouble far side. The ball is loose. There's a collision. It goes out of bounds, and it goes back to Exeter.
Yeah, notice how the attackmen for Pinkerton come up out of the box immediately to help on the face-offs. We've talked about that before with some teams that retreat. Bedford being one of those teams that when the ball comes down into their offensive zone, they tend to flow back into the goal area. Druin's one of those guys. He wants the ball. He comes up out of the box and takes command like that.
He's played well today, as he has all season. The senior headed to Colgate. But now his team in a tough spot, Roger. We're creeping up on 5 minutes to go. Pinkerton on the defensive end here, down 3 goals.
Yeah, and they're going to play slow down. They're going to play an outside perimeter game here, not get sloppy.
So how aggressive do you get defensively if you're Pinkerton?
With 3 goals down, I think you got to get really aggressive right now.
Pass, shot, a little high.
And Pinkerton has had some success taking the ball away here today. Let's not forget that. They have done well. Exeter's just done better at picking spots. How many skip passes have we seen through the box by Exeter today where they've found open guys? They've played smart ball too.
Well, now the clock really starting to become a factor.
Right now,
towards 4 minutes.
Yeah, Pinkerton needs a Spellman run. They need one of those types of runs here to get things.
They're going to bring Dustin over on the slide. It's pulled back out. Spin
Opening.
move. Clark. He wants a shot. LeBlanc says no. Another save for the sophomore. Another second half save. Now Dustin. Good pass middle. McDonald to clear. Up ahead. This is Uber. Uber's going to find Druin far side, but he's got the big defender, Davis Nelson, to deal with. Going to bring Nelson middle.
Spellman's open.
Going to shoot it himself instead. A bouncer goes over the top of the crossbar. Out of play. Good hustle by Barboni. Keeps it with Pinkerton. 3:45 to go. And Barboni just lost it. Went right out of his stick. Ground ball. Top of the crease. Good hit put on by Spellman that jars it loose further.
Good body.
Far side, Gallo took a shot at Hale. Ends up with Druin.
Good man ball action there. One guy takes the body and gets the ground ball to the other guy.
3:20 to go. Goes Gaudreau waving his arm on the sideline, trying to direct traffic. Uber against Hayden Lechner. Going to bring him back out. Couple of back steps. Now it's Barboni's turn at the 35.
I think I make a run at these middies who have been on defense and offense. Oh, nice play.
Backdoor fee, but a high shot.
Wow.
By Lynch.
Yeah, nice late check by Ellis there on the hands.
Yeah, I think that foiled the shot.
Yeah, for sure. All right, watch the stack here. Get him high so Hunter can run here. You want to let this guy loose. Yeah, that's what we're going to see here. A little high box action.
Clock working against Pinkerton. We're down to 3 minutes. Still a 3-goal gap. Druin The cutter. Barboni, the finish.
Exactly.
Well, you called it, Roger.
Exactly.
Barboni takes a pretty good pass and does the rest. Goes low to finish. Pinkerton back within 2, keeping hope alive with 2:54 to go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, when you put Hunter Druin back there one-on-one with a defender and you line everybody up at the top of the box, you don't know what to do as a defense. Is he going to take the guy one-on-one and you got to slide down from your guys, or are you going to have a bunch of cutters coming in? And that was like a combination of both. And there's Barboni cutting towards the crease. Love that. Love it.
Barboni, I believe that's his first goal of the game. He's played most of the way. He's played well.
Yeah, I've got him with 1 assist on the prior goal. But that's
Meanwhile,
it.
the freshman Frank got a foot on it. Tries to step in front of Davis Nelson. And ultimately, this one over the top. Drunzik going to catch up to it, and Exeter has it. Now a timeout is called by Coach Hawley. Wants to make sure he's got possession here with 2:33 to go. His club up by 2, 12-10.
Yeah, you've got to go hard here if you're Pinkerton. You want to get the matchups you want with your long poles and leave your shorties with the less skilled players out there, if there is such a thing for Exeter at this point. But you have to go hard. You have to go hard.
Coming up, full recap following the game. A look around the NHIAA as well. Only 2 other Division I games scheduled for tonight. There's a lot of D2 games and D3 games we can take a look at as well. Plus, we'll get you set for our Thursday broadcast. We'll be back on the Seacoast in Portsmouth as one of the bigger Division II rivalries will be on hand. Winnicott and Portsmouth. That game gets underway at 6:30 Eastern. Our coverage begins at about 6:15.
Yeah, that game right now is at the end of the first quarter. That was a late start game.
That's right. They're meeting tonight as well in Hampton.
Yeah, they are at Winnicott, and it's 3-2 after 1 Portsmouth. So I can't wait to do that game. That game's going to be that one's going to be a good one too.
Yeah, we've seen them both this season. They both looked impressive. They've both been racking up wins. Portsmouth, of course, undefeated. Winnicott just the 1 loss going into tonight.
Yeah, I love the interview that you had with Coach Snow. I think it was last weekend on the Sunday show. Was it last weekend or this past weekend?
2 days ago, yeah.
This past weekend.
Yep.
When you asked him about the zone.
That's right.
And he justified the zone. And I could
He said they had actually been trying to play more man this year.
Yeah, he did. He said
because he feels like they've got
the personnel,
the talent, to do so.
Yeah. But when I loved you asked him that question, I know Coach Hetler was, sitting back in his chair going, "Oh my God." Coach Hetler is not a zone man.
All right. Here we go. Final 2:33. Exeter looking to protect a 2-goal lead. Pinkerton hoping to force a turnover here out of the timeout. Spencer Clark, he's been an Iron Man for Exeter, one of the stars of the football team in the fall. Being chased down by Zern. Zern has played well today, the junior defenseman. Clark has only scored once. And a lot of that credit, I think, has to go to Zern.
So Coach Hawley is it's a little early for me, but I'll go with it. He's playing defensive offense here. But if you're going to do that, I would get the ball behind. You don't want the ball out there and lose it.
Drunzik on the run. He's been really indestructible at times tonight. He's absorbed more checks, I think, than anybody.
That's what happens there.
There's Hawley on the ground, and there's the ground ball over to Zern.
There's the turnover.
Zern to midfield. Clock, though, a factor, down to 95 seconds. Still a 2-goal gap.
Yeah, if you don't get a goal here, you're going to have to call a timeout.
Drunzik turning on the Jets. The bouncing shot just wide.
Good.
We heard a collective groan from the Pinkerton parents here.
Yeah, you're getting down to that 1-minute mark, and you don't score here. You're going to have to call a timeout and get things going.
Minute 27 now.
There it
is. They're going to take it right here.
Yeah. You can't afford to lose possession here with the clock being your enemy, and you need a quick goal, and then you need a face-off win.
Minute 27, 12-10. Our score, Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Good night for Lacrosse. A warm night. Temperatures earlier reaching as high as 80 degrees. I'd say the summer right around the corner.
Love it.
Here as we enter late May. Final 2 weeks or so of the regular season, and then playoff time in June. And, of course, who else would you turn to for playoff coverage besides us here at FNL NH Media? We will be everywhere. Preliminary round, first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, in conjunction with the NFHS for the finals as well. So it's all on the way in the month of June. And, of course, that's really the highlight of the calendar for lacrosse fans every year.
Yeah, from what's really great about up here is that we do get a late start, and our championship and playoffs generally start after the NCAA championship weekend, which is Memorial Day weekend. 3 days of the best lacrosse you'll ever see anywhere in the world, in my opinion. And right after that, we start with high school playoffs. So, if you're a real lacrosse nut and can't get enough, then these next couple of weeks you're going to be ready right until the PLL starts.
Well, they're saying the new marketing slogan is May Madness, right?
Yes.
We've seen that promoted.
May Mayhem.
May Mayhem.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, we've seen that promoted by the NCAA. They do a good job.
Look at this.
Two-man game, pass broken up by Ellis.
Gonna lose it.
Hawley goes flying, recovers.
Oh.
He's being hit by three guys. He's still got the ball. He's going to escape to the far side. Spellman hot on his tail, whacking with that stick. Hawley still has it. And about 10 seconds and 3 fresh bruises later, we get a whistle.
Yeah, you're gonna
with a minute 3 to go.
You're going to have 2 penalties here. A push, and I think there's going to be a slash.
Flag down at the near sideline, on the near sideline at the 46. This is Uber to the box for Pinkerton.
Oh.
30 against Spellman, number 17, not Uber.
Two different flags, not quite simultaneously. And there was a big scrum going on there at the 35-yard line that I thought another penalty was being called with a high stick up under the helmet by one of the Pinkerton players. But they get away with only a 30.
Spellman's second penalty of this second half. It comes with a minute to go, and that may be all Exeter needs here to put this one in the books. They've got a 12-10 lead, and now an extra man on the field. They have led throughout most of the game. Trailed a few times late in the second quarter, early in the third by a goal was the largest Pinkerton lead. But more often than not, Coach Hawley's team has played with the lead tonight. He's going to take a timeout here with 37 seconds remaining.
I actually like this timeout. They've got possession. Spellman is about to exit the box, so they will be playing 6-on-6 here, I think, at the 34-minute mark, or 34-second mark, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you're playing probably wide-open circle here. Maybe bring it behind far corner, goal line extended, and just park yourself there for a little while.
Well, the big thing is, obviously, don't put yourself in a vulnerable situation if you're Exeter.
Right.
I mean, that goes, I'm sure, without saying, but
right.
Sometimes it's a good idea to remind young student athletes of that, right?
Indeed. Yeah. I think I think the ball is going to be over here on this side of the field, maybe around the 10, right where you see the 10. And I expect that they'll just travel to that far corner with it with a little bit of backup. Not sure if Pinkerton will double the ball here.
I think you probably have to, don't you?
I think you do. It's not like, being against the sideline or pinched in the corner. They'll leave the farthest guy open if they do.
All right. We'll see how it plays out. Still 37 seconds remaining. Is it enough time for Pinkerton to force the turnover? Yep. Go down and score 2 goals. We'll see.
And they are going to double the ball here.
All right, there's Clark.
So watch for the dump over to Drunzik. Drunzik's going to be the farthest guy here. Oh, they're going to put Holly out there.
They double the ball on the restart. Clark, a straight sprint to the far side, deep behind the cage. Turner riding him. Pass taken by Drunzik on the far wing. Drunzik going to test the waters. Comes middle. Now triple teamed. Gets rid of it with a blind pass. Taken off the bounce by Turner for Pinkerton. Astros need to hurry down to 20 seconds. Turner. Far side, this is McDonald. McDonald given room by the defender, now met by Mantell at the 40. Second defender comes over, that's Hawley. And a timeout.
Ooh, okay. He had one more in his pocket.
Timeout by Coach Gaudreau of Pinkerton, but again, just inside of 8 seconds now remaining. Very limited or little time remaining here for Pinkerton, down 2 goals.
Give Exeter credit here on this ride because they forced Pinkerton to run the ball there, which is really when you're trying to scrape up seconds on the clock, you don't want to see a guy running. You want to see a nice long pass to the midfield so that you can clear quickly and get the ball down closer to the box so that you can call timeout. They had everything covered in the midfield. Between the boxes, everybody was covered by a Blue Hawk, and there was nowhere to go with that but, leg it out of there.
Yeah, both teams have had their difficulties at times tonight against the Rye, but it seems like it's been better in the second half.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both teams. Nothing sparks in my mind as a defect out there,
right.
With either team when it comes to clearing and riding. We've seen some games this year that it was just painful to watch some teams try to clear or ride because they couldn't do it. But
the ride's been good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the turnovers have been justified.
Indeed.
All right, Spellman, final 8 seconds. Trying to spin away from the defender. That's Campfield, who has played very well for Exeter. Clark, a hit just for good measure, and that's going to do it. Round 1 goes to the home team. Exeter, a 12-10 victory. First part of this home and home between these two teams. They'll meet again Thursday in Derry. Just the third loss suffered on the season by Pinkerton. Exeter remains in second place in Division 1 with just 2 losses. A lot to talk about, a lot to get to when we come back. Post-game on the way, full recap, out-of-town scoreboard, and more. Exeter wins 12-10. You're watching our Friday Night Lights broadcast of the Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Back here in Exeter, 12-10, the final, as the Blue Hawks hand Pinkerton just their third loss of the season. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Penalties played a big role today, really both ways. EMO goals right off the bat. Connor Hawley put Exeter in front 1-0. A minute later, Mike Huber came back to tie it at 1. Again, both of those goals, EMOs. Game tied at 1 about midway through the first. Then Exeter went on a run, 4 unanswered. Aiden Drunzik, Hayden Lechner, Spencer Clark, and then Gavin Lechner made it 5-1. That was Exeter's largest lead. It came a minute into the second quarter. Hunter Druin fought back with a highlight-style goal to make it 5-2. That was just outside of 5 minutes to go in the first half. Pinkerton crawling back within 3. And then Riley Spellman went on a streak we have not seen in a long time. 4 unanswered goals in less than a minute and a half. Put Pinkerton out in front for the moment, 6-5. And about 40 seconds later, Connor Hawley comes back with his second for Exeter to tie the game at 6, and that's where we stood at halftime. More penalties to begin the second half. Ryan Lynch, an EMO goal. Pinkerton a 1-goal lead at 7-6. Jackson Hale, extra man goal for Exeter, tied it at 7-7. Joey Gallo, you guessed it, extra man goal for Pinkerton, 8-7 Astros, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Then the Blue Hawks again flex their muscles. A 4-goal run to bridge the third and fourth quarters. They reestablish a 3-goal lead of 11-8. That was Drunzik, Jake Mantell, Jackson Hale, Connor Hawley's third. Again, made it 11-8, 2 minutes into the fourth. Pinkerton showed signs of life. Ryan Lynch, his second of the second half at the 7-minute mark, brought the visitors back within 2 at 11-9, but Exeter's Gavin Lechner, sophomore scoring twice tonight, made it 12-9. Just inside of 3 minutes, Mason Barboni, his first for Pinkerton, ended up being the last goal of the game either way, as in the end, Exeter celebrates a 12-10 victory over Pinkerton.
What a game. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home.
Ready for a shower.
Well, actually, no. There's a JV game, so I got to stay anytime I can get an extra jolt. This game had, as I said at halftime, everything.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of strange at the same time, because as I look at my scorecard here, Exeter gave up 4 EMO goals today, and they come away winners. LeBlanc comes to life in the second half and comes up with 7 saves against Exeter,
Right.
which could have made the difference even in another direction.
Right.
So, both teams played well today. Got to get a feed going for the Thursday game and at least watch it after our game in Portsmouth.
Yeah, these two teams meet again Thursday in Derry. However, we will be on the Seacoast. Big D2 matchup, rivalry game between Winnicott and Portsmouth. Our coverage gets underway at 6:15. Face-off comes your way 6:30 Eastern. No real scores to report tonight. We got one update from earlier. Portsmouth and Winnicott round 1 in Hampton is also tonight, by the way. Clippers at last look had an early 3-2 lead after 1 there. The only other scheduled games in Division 1 tonight, Nashua North at BG, Concord at Salem. Roger Howe, your final thoughts as we say goodbye here from Exeter.
A game that was entertaining to watch. It had everything that we look for in a lacrosse game. 2 great teams, hey, they're ranked 2 and 3 in the state, and that's where they stand in the standings as well. So it was a well-deserved game for both teams here, and they fought hard.
They did. It was enjoyable for us here as well. We want to thank Bill Ball, Athletic Director Extraordinaire here at Bill Ball Stadium, making sure we were ready to go ahead of time. John Barron, Chief Engineer chief videographer as well, doing a great job up on the roof tonight as well. Want to thank our director back in the Beals Insurance Studios, Ben Beals, doing a great job, as he always does. Of course, the executive producer in the big man chair down in Florida is Steve Beals. For my partner, Roger Howe, my name, Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Exeter 12, Pinkerton 10. This has been our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.